All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday back day. Cardio is already done for the day, so what is on the agenda is back and tanning. And then to get my steps in, I'm going to take my dog for a nice long walk later. Driving the Beetle. And this may be the last time I'll be driving it without the lift on. And yeah, who knows? That's going to be a really fun project. I don't think it'll be too hard. And I think it'll just make this thing a lot cooler. On the topic of the Beetle, I want to jack it up, put some chunky tires on it, and then I'm thinking, like, if it's already kind of looking like an off-road vehicle, maybe I could make it a true off-road vehicle. And so I was doing some, looking into four-wheel drive and all-wheel drive systems, and I'm not like great at fabrication or whatever. So if I was really good at that, I could just get a I could get any transaxle or transfer case, and with spacers and adapters and stuff, just make it fit, if I was good, and then just have a full-time four-wheel drive / all-wheel drive system. But I'm not that good. I wouldn't know where to start. I wouldn't know what systems to use, etc. Maybe you could get something from some all-wheel drive that has a transverse mounted transmission with a rear drive shaft. I don't know. Regardless, that's doable, but we're talking incredibly labor intensive, a lot of welding and cutting, which is just something I'm not really set up for. And this is also way down the line. This is jacking up the Beetle is one thing, putting in another system is a whole nother thing. But I've done some research, and it's doable. It's difficult, but it's doable. And the way it would be accomplished is, first of all, I have to source, because this is a diesel, I have to source a diesel 6-speed transmission gearbox, right? And just throw that in. And that's something that people do on diesels all the time. The transmission fits right in, and then you just need a new clutch, pressure plate, flywheel, and reroute the master to slave line, because it's a wet slave on the 6 speeds as opposed to the dry slave that we have on a 5-speed. And just mount that in there, and then you need a shift tower, and that's about it. New axles, of course, but that comes with the transmission. So anyway, that would be the first step, and that's just something I can do at some point if I stumble across a good priced 6-speed, specifically a diesel 6-speed tranny. That would be step one of the project, and I would just throw that in at some point, which I plan to do eventually anyway. But that's a necessary step. The next step after that would be to get a wrecked Audi TT, like a parts car, a Quattro, the Gen 1, the 2000 to 2006 generation, the Gen 1, the ones that literally are just new Beetles with Audi badges on them and stuff. And I'd have to pull the rear end, the transmission, the transfer case, the rear axles, and all that jazz. And then perhaps I'd have to cut some stuff out of the floor pans on this. I'm hoping that jacking it up would mitigate some of those issues. I wouldn't have to cut as much, or maybe I wouldn't have to cut at all. Also need the fuel tank and custom exhaust lines and the mounts for the drive shaft. And, those are all sourceable. But I'd have to crack open the 2 gearboxes, put all the mounts in for the transfer case, put in a all-wheel drive planetary, put it all back together, remount the 6-speed, and then or the other option is, of course, just get an Audi TT 6-speed, take the gears, like ignore 1 through 4 basically, and then replace 5th and 6th gear with, or just 6th gear with a TDI gear, like a higher gear ratio, higher gear ratio, whatever it is. But moral of the story, I'd have to cannibalize like pretty much the whole back end of the TT and like the transaxles, part of the frame, the rear end, and the suspension would probably, it's the same suspension component, so I could just, like, if I have new springs on there, I can just put those back on and get the lift back on. But that it would be a huge project, and I more or less would like have to have a donor car. So like this would be way down the line, maybe one day when I have like a bigger garage, maybe a lift or 2 and space for our 2 cars to be torn down at once. But regardless, things in the future. The main thing we're going to be doing pretty soon here is jacking this bad boy up, getting that lift on there, and I think that'll be pretty neat. So that'll be fun. Yeah. Probably the best way to do it actually would be to just get the TT transmission and swap the gears out for diesel gears so that you have the correct ratios. That way you wouldn't have to have 2 or 3 different transmissions floating around at one time, gearboxes, as it were. So yeah, that would probably be the best way to do it, is swap the 5th and 6th gear for TDI ratios. Probably the best way to do it. Anyway, but I got parts coming in today, or tomorrow rather, some the day after that, some next week. And so I'm going to get the garage cleaned up a little bit so I have space to work and organize my tools and stuff. And then when I have all the parts, I'll take a rest day and slap this thing together, and it's going to be killer. Now then, back day. I really, really enjoy back day lately. It's frankly the easiest day of the week. It's just nice. It moves quick. It's not an incredible amount of strain on my body. I don't feel like my stomach doesn't get upset. I don't get like exhausted afterwards. It's just a good, quick pump, a good workout. I can hammer through it, and I don't feel just trashed afterwards. I'm not like exhausted. I'm not like super tired, etc. So big fan lately of back day. And so we'll hit a row variation. I don't know if it's going to be dumbbell. I don't know if it's going to be machine. I'm not sure. I've been liking the machine row a lot. Buddy, it's your go, but if you're going to back up for some reason, weird. Very weird. I was at a 4-way stop, and like this guy had right away, and then he just put it in reverse and started backing up down the street. I'm like, okay, I'll go. Weird. But yeah, get in there, hammer some back day. I really have to switch mindsets here because I've talked about this before. When I get to thinking about cars and talking about cars, man, I just get so excited. My brain just revs up, and I'm just like, oh yeah. Let's focus on that. Let's hyperfixate, if you will. I got a little bit of autism brain in that regard, or ADHD or whatever you want to call it, but I hyperfixate pretty bad. So, got to tear myself from that mindset, put myself into the lifting mindset, and get her done. But yeah, big plans for the Beetle. I mean, short term, we're going to jack it up. Long term, and we're talking probably years before I have the means or ability to get this done, is that all-wheel drive swap. So, yeah. But let's go hit some back. I'm going to get warmed up, and then I will catch you guys for some version of rows. I don't know what exactly yet. Okay. Chest-supported row is what we're going with today. I think we're going to hit 85s. I think that's what we're going to be doing. Already warmed up with my rear raises and pull-ups. And then I hit a couple sets of this to get the lats even a little more primed. I mean, the row machine's right there, and it's calling to me, but this is what we're working with today. So, 2 sets of 12. Let's do it. Light work. I think I actually might have worn this exact same outfit my last back day. Utterly unintentional. You know, I think it's just like the chance of that happening because of the nature of how I do my laundry and stuff just kind of lined up that way. But yeah, so don't judge, I guess, or whatever. It's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I just remember, like, when I was filming, I was like doing shrugs, and I'm like, man, that green shirt, I think that was in one of my videos. It might have been the blue shorts too, I don't recall, but hey, funny little thing. Anyway. I don't have that many clothes that fit, so I tend to wear the same stuff a lot. And I might get the same combo a few times. Woo. Okay, we are mixing it up a little bit because the low row is occupied, so we're just going to jump into the underhand lat pulls, and then maybe we can do the low row afterwards. I've been slaying the 190 or the 180, whatever, pretty consistently, so I'm going to try 200, and we're going to find out pretty quickly if that was a mistake. Here we go. Definitely heavier. Whew. All right, I don't see us getting 12.
But you know what? We're gonna run it anyway and just see what we can do. Shoot. That last rep was kind of sloppy, but we'll take it, I guess. All right. Low rows. I got 180 on here. Oh, see how it goes. Hurt my hands more than anything. That extra 20 pounds. Okay. Okay. Let her rip. Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, that extra 20 pounds, it does add up. Okay. Let's see what we got next. Smith rug. Okay, 12 and 12. If you're new here, it's 12 reps, 12 pause reps, 12 by 12, like speed reps. So, give you a little example. Trying not to eat my hair. Dang. All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's 180 on here, by the way, if you're curious. Woo! All right, let's finish this up. No good way to access this. It needs to come out about a foot and over about a foot, but whatever. Oh, shoot. All right. Pull overtime. Oh, 2 sets of 25. Yeah. Okay. Nice. One more of those. All right, let's finish this up. Again, quick workout. Love me some back day. That burns. All right, get a little bit of posing in. All right, get you guys a little bit of posing here. Little dark in here, but hopefully the camera will clean that up digitally. I can expose myself. Well, not. Let me phrase that. I could up the exposure a little bit and see what that does for us. There. Washes me out a little bit, but that's fine. Okay. I'm gonna move under the light a little. Get rid of some of those shadows. Here we go. Okay, so just relax here. Flex. Okay. Hit you with a little. I'll hit you with a back lat real quick. Just for fun's sake. Yeah, not too much posing today. I'm just gonna go hit a tan, and I'll see you guys next time.